Welcome to today's Mishna topic. Today we're going to be learning Maseches MAE, Perek Beis, Mishna Aleph. MAE is dealing with MAE. We don't know exactly what the status is of the produce. And because we don't know the status, has Trumos and Maisros been taken or not, Misafek, the Rabbanan tell us that we should take Trumos and Maisros. Our Mishnah begins, Ve'elu Devarim mitasrim D'mai b'chol makom. The following are things that we should take D'mai in any place, whether you're in Eretz Yisrael or Chutz La'aretz. Hadevela, v'hatmarim, v'hacharuvim, v'ha'orez, v'hakamon. These are all produce of Eretz Yisrael that doesn't matter where it is, we're going to take D'mai from this, we're going to take Trumos and Maisros from these produce. Now, the Yerushalmi explains, why would you take in Chutz La'aretz from produce of these different types of produce? And explains, we will know, because of their unique quality, we'll know that this is from Eretz Yisrael. What it describes, for example, that the figs are exceptionally sweet, that the dates are exceptionally large, that the carobs have a unique figure, that it's very straight, and because of this high quality, we'll know that it's coming from Eretz Yisrael. So according to the Mishnah, the high quality fruits are coming from Eretz Yisrael. And the question is, do we see this in Metzius? Nowadays, if you look at the fruits, is there really a distinction between the fruits of Eretz Yisrael and the fruits of Chutz La'aretz? So we can understand a little bit based on Yerushalmi we find in Peah, Perek Zayin Halacha Gimel, describes a very interesting story. There we have three Amoraim who are traveling in Eretz Yisrael, and they come across a vineyard, and the sharecropper there gives an enormous peach to the three Amoraim. And it's enough to feed the three Amoraim plus their donkeys, and there's still some left over. So the Amoraim actually measure this, and they come out to the measurement that this is a sav adashim, an entire measurement of a large measurement, about 1.7 liters of lentils. And the Gemara explains that this is actually the size of a container that was found in Kfar Chanina, this large container. And the Amoraim go away from this field, and they come back at another point in time. And when they come back this other time, they again are given a peach from this sharecropper, and the peach is much, much smaller. And the Amoraim are shocked, and they say, can you give us something from the same tree that you gave us before? And the sharecropper says, yes, I did. This is from the same tree. At that point, the Amoraim realize that it's because of the actions of the Jewish people. Based on the pasuk in Tehillim, Kuv Zayin Lamedalid, Eretz Prilim Lecha Meira Yoshveva, that we see that there's a unique connection between the fruits of Eretz Yisrael and the actions of the Jewish people. Now, as a side, the Baal of Sefer Shar HaChatzer explains that the reason that the Amoraim, the reason that Chazal described the container that was being used as from Kfar Chanina was because they wanted us to realize that whenever we encounter this container, we should remember that this is how big potentially the fruits of Eretz Yisrael could be. And because the actions of the Jewish people, because we've gone down in a level, the fruits have shriveled, have become smaller. The Baal Shar HaChatzer explains that the Jewish people, the spiritual level of the Jewish people is intrinsically related to the physical produce of Eretz Yisrael. When we are up, so is the produce. When we are down, the produce goes down. He quotes a Yerushalmi in Yoma, where Shlomo HaMelech is described as painting. This is an amazing story. He paints a painting of all of the trees that are found in the entire world. And when it comes time for those trees to produce fruits, so the trees in Metzius, in reality, produce fruits, and then in the painting, it also miraculously appears. And so we see this deep connection between the spiritual, the high spiritual level, which is Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael with the Beis HaMikdash, and the physical world, which is producing fruits, which is producing physicality for the entire world. So he says that there's this unique connection. We see that that Eretz Yisrael, when we're at our pinnacle, is giving shefa to the entire world. He says this is related to the Chet of Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon sinned, and by him sinning, he lowered the status, lowered the level of the shefa that comes into the entire world. And now, through Am Yisrael, doing the will of Hashem, the Ratzon Hashem, in Eretz Yisrael, with the Beis HaMikdash, is able to rectify the Chet of Adam HaRishon. And vice versa, we're taught by Chazal, Mishachara Beis HaMikdash, Nital Tam HaPeiros. When the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, the tam, in other words, again, the unique qualities of the Peiros are diminished because we don't have the Beis HaMikdash, we don't have that unique connection that's able to give shefa to the entire world. Chazal also quote a pasuk, "Ba'ashimosi ani es ha'aretz v'shamu aleha oiveim hayoshvim ba," that we know that when Am Yisrael is not found in Eretz Yisrael, when we're no longer there, when we're in Galus, so the land becomes desolate. This is a pasuk that when we're not here, when we're not in Eretz Yisrael, there doesn't produce the same way that it would produce when Am Yisrael is here. And Chazal give us a little bit of nechama. They tell us that this is in Torah's Kohanim Sifra Vav Ches, that it's telling Am Yisrael that you should know this. You should know that when you're here, the land will produce. It's only when you're not here that it's going to be desolate. Baruch Hashem, over the past 150 years, we've seen Eretz Yisrael flourish and develop and grow. We have to realize, though, that we have not yet reached our full potential as a nation. Am Yisrael can perform, when we perform our Torah mitzvahs to the maximal ability, when we're able to serve Hashem to the highest possible level, we'll be able to usher in the Gula Shlema and the Binyan Beis HaMikdash B'mheira V'yameinu.